Welcome to Friday, August 25th, 2023. Your day weather podcast brought to you by Cowboy State Daily. Did you know that Cowboy State Daily publishes a digital newspaper at 5:45 a.m. every day of the week, and it's free? To get yours emailed to you every morning, subscribe at cowboystatedaily.com. Moisture from the remains of Tropical Storm Harold will be passing through, making it cooler and also bringing a small area of heavy rain risk. We've got flood watches in effect for extreme southeastern Wyoming, sections of northeastern Colorado. It's not a very large area, but the concentration of this deeper subtropical moisture will bring some heavy rain to some areas. Thunderstorm chances will remain in the region through early next week before some drier air moves in, as a lot of this subtropical moisture is just going to kind of hang around. Temperatures will be more moderate, not as hot in this pattern. And as we take a look at the long term, it looks like late summer, which actually means some nice weather. Not as hot, maybe less in the way of some thunderstorm activity towards the middle to the end of next week and into the upcoming Labor Day weekend. Really a pretty decent looking weather pattern, very typical for late August. Here is a great example. Trent took this picture northeast of Cheyenne yesterday. If you look at that rain shaft, there's a cloud there, yeah, but it's not huge. But look at that rain coming down, tapping into that subtropical moisture as it started to creep over the Continental Divide yesterday. So even the smallest little shower can put out a lot of rain in a very short period of time. And if you look at where we are with the remains of Harold, right along the Continental Divide in north central Colorado and southeastern Wyoming this morning. And as we saw yesterday, it really shows up well in the satellite imagery this morning. So you can see the gray, the subtropical moisture. Now drier air kind of encircles it. That's why there's going to be a real sharp cutoff between areas that get rain and areas that don't get anything at all on either side of this. But you can see that thunderstorm activity and the deeper moisture developing out into the plain states and Corn Belt here. It's moving slow, so it's going to be hanging around through the course of the day today and into tonight. Then it gets stretched out and it will weaken what's left of Harold very rapidly as it extends eastward. But in the meantime, you can see the deeper water in the air that's going to be hanging around, and this goes all the way through late Monday. So there's high water content in the air. You get some daytime heating, you push that up against the mountains, and you're going to have that opportunity for shower and thunderstorm activity. But you can see that concentration there over southeastern Wyoming and the front range of Colorado and out into the plains with this moisture, lesser conditions, less opportunity for showers and storms outside of that area. This is where the excessive rainfall risk is today. That is the area where the most active showers and thunderstorms are going to happen. There is a possibility on the northern edge of this of maybe being cool enough that the real heavy thunderstorm activity stays south of the border into Colorado. That could happen. Kind of depends on the stability of the atmosphere. If it stays cool enough, that could mitigate the thunderstorm risk being further south. That we'll just have to see how the morning and the early afternoon goes on. Tomorrow, as it gets stretched out west to east, we'll see that flooding threat go away and at least shift out into the plain states. All of these green areas right here are under flood watches for today. As the next 24 hours, those areas susceptible to the heaviest rain. And there's the risk tomorrow gets further shifted south and east out of the region. Nonetheless, there'll be those showers and thunderstorms hanging around. And here's one of the models showing you where the better chances of rainfall will be here through the next 72 to 84 hours. So you can see it still should be a very active weather pattern. We may see thunderstorm and shower activity kind of wane during the day Saturday, but then we kind of get back into afternoon and evening thunderstorms Sunday, Monday, and into the day on Tuesday. As you saw in that precipitable water loop, that moisture just hangs around. Now, the tropics still very busy, but more out in the Atlantic, and a lot of it just going into the middle of nowhere. Franklin will likely become a stronger, bigger entity. It's probably going to stay off the coast, but may threaten parts of Canada. This area right here needs to be watched as we get into next week. We may have a tropical storm affecting Florida, something to keep an eye on. But unlike Harold that went this way, the pattern won't favor that. The pattern will favor for this system here to likely go north and then curve northeast. And we don't see the Pacific throwing anything our way. We're kind of getting the door shut to the Pacific here for a little bit, at least the tropical Pacific, over the next 7 days. Going out further, this is by next Wednesday. I talked about the pattern getting to be a little bit more like late summer. Well, the jet stream's getting more active, and the jet stream is wanting to travel more south. So this will suppress the heat into the deserts, the high retreating back into Arizona. We don't have the hot dome in the nation's midsection anymore, and we have more frontal systems coming out of Canada and up into the northern latitudes, exactly what you'd expect for late August, staring down early September. Have yourself a great weekend. We'll see you on Monday.